Boys, we're back. Episode 4, Parlay Parlance. I'm Zach, joined by Shayan, Nitul, and Dits. How we doing?
Woo!
How we doing, boys?
Doing all right.
Excited to talk about some fantasy.
Fantasy trades, that is. Seems like we're starting
yeah.
off with trades, right, Zach?
That's right. I did a quick little Google search today, boys. We're 78 days away from NFL kickoff.
Let's go.
So
This is maximal coping time.
exactly. So things are slowly building up. We're not quite not quite in the heat of it, but things are going. Things are ticking closer. So we're starting off with some trades that Cheyenne found on good old Reddit, Dynasty trades, and then from there we'll do some top 10 rankings. Cheyenne, I'm going to turn it over to you. Pick some trades, and we'll discuss.
All right, first one was Battle of the Young Guys here. We got on one team, someone posted this on the Dynasty Fantasy Football Trades Reddit where they ask for advice. On one side, we have receiving Quinshawn Judkins, the new rookie for the Browns, running back, and JSN. In exchange, you give up Brian Thomas Jr. What do we think? I thought this one was good. I thought it was like kind of balanced, but I want to know what you guys think.
So maybe one thought, and I guess it'll be a little tricky if we don't know like exactly what each team has already, right? Like, oh, does a team need a running back, or is a team competing or not? So it's a grain of salt with all these. So I guess we're kind of looking at just like overall
Pure
value that each team
yeah.
is getting. Right. Okay. And I guess we're assuming it's all Dynasty, you said, right? Like strictly Dynasty for all these.
Yes,
and
sir.
I guess
some of them have
scoring shouldn't matter too much.
Some of them have like the super flex, PPR, tight end, premium, like specifiers, but this one did not. So let's just assume it's a PPR 12 team.
Okay.
No.
So you said
Superflex.
Judkins and JSN for Brian Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Let's go Dits. What are you thinking on this?
It is definitely tough, but and we're saying we're going pure value. If it's based off just pure value, I think it's tough because I have a affinity towards Brian Thomas Jr. and I just think that offense is going to be so good, especially with Liam Cohen coming into town and like a rejuvenated Trevor Lawrence in this offense. Travis Hunter, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Hunter. I had him as my wide receiver 1 in this previous draft. So, but I'm just so high on Brian Thomas. But strictly based on value, I do like JSN. And if you're just trying to get a running back too, like, oh man, we already put him in the blender that quick.
Trade one. Dits is stumped. I will say maybe one way to think about this, right, is like Judkins was drafted this year in 106, 107 in the rookie drafts in most leagues. So I think maybe an easier way of thinking about it is like, would you do JSN in a mid first for Thomas? I think I take Thomas on that.
Yeah,
I usually try to go with the best player in the trade, best asset. So I'd go Thomas if it were me. Yeah,
I also have been leaning that way. I think the other reason why I'm also leaning that way is because I think as of recently, rookie running backs, just as of general, maybe it's been a while, but I feel like the track record of rookie running backs in Dynasty, like in year 1, they don't end up doing a whole lot. I think even going back to last year, outside of Bucky Irving, who was, I think, kind of a surprise in general. Who were some of the other rookie running backs last year?
I will say last year was kind of an anomaly. Like if you actually look back at it, typically they do pretty well the first year, but last year was a big exception.
But the guys drafted
it was Trey
really
Benson.
High.
Yeah, no, even so, like Trey Benson and Brooks were like historically bad last year. If you go back before that,
and this rookie RB class is insane.
Yeah, I think Judkins is going to do well this year. It's just like on a questionable offense, but
he has a role defined for him there.
Yeah.
So
I am nervous still, just in general, like especially. I mean, my approach in Dynasty generally has been like just take the stud, especially. He's younger than I think all these guys. I'm saying no. I keep Thomas.
I say JSN. Um, but I do like Zach how you looked at Judkins as a mid first because that's what we know of him right now. Um, and I see JSN as 2 firsts and a second maybe. So, for 3 firsts and a second, I think that outweighs Brian Thomas's value by a little bit, but it's close. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. Cheyenne, do you have a lean since you picked this trade as one to
You know,
talk
I
about?
picked it because it was so tough, but I think ultimately I would lean towards the JSN Judkins option as well. You're
What?
getting two assets there. You know, JSN is on the up, Judkins is on the up. Um, Thomas, I think he's really good. He was amazing last year, right? But with Hunter now being there, I've expressed my concerns on this before, but I think if anything, he's staying at his best. He's staying the same, which is very good. But at his worst, he might be going down. So I'm not trying to take that risk. I'd do that trade.
Okay.
I have a
So
question.
so we're evenly
Okay.
split 2-2 on this first one. So that was a good one, Cheyenne.
It's a good trade.
I had a quick follow-up though for Shayan and I guess Nitul. So let's just say it seems like you guys maybe aren't as high on Brian Thomas as both Zach and I are. Let's say like this was Jamar Chase, maybe even last year. Like, does that change anything for you? I feel like Brian Thomas's ceiling is like a Jamar Chase level
No, it
player.
completely changes it for me. Jamar
It-
Chase is completely beyond Brian Thomas.
So you guys think like Brian Thomas
Absolutely.
can't reach that like
Yeah,
top
he
3?
could, but I mean, all right, Jamar Chase and top 3 are two very different things.
Yeah, I
Jamar
feel like
Chase is
Jamar's
easy
like
one.
in his own league right now.
I
I
agree.
If
think
you're
it
talking about
changes
top
it too.
3, then sure.
But
I
he's
agree.
even like beyond the second and third. He's like I
Yeah,
think Zach
he's his
showed
own
us this
tier.
graphic and it was like he's literally his own tier.
But I think like the way I see it, like if there's a guy who can crack into that the Jefferson Chase tier, like I mean it's probably likely not, but
Could be JSN. Why not?
not with Darnold as a quarterback. I
Yeah,
guess
but
I mean Jefferson, but like had
this is
Darnold too, but
Dynasty.
like
Anything can
yeah.
happen in 2-3 years. They
Maybe I'm
can
just
pull
too
in
high
some.
on BTJ, but like with this new
Yeah.
offense, like you think how the Bucks integrated Evans and Godwin, like at the minimum, and I think Brian Thomas is better than both of them. I do. I
Mhm.
genuinely think he's better. But
Yeah,
anyways,
It's just tough when it's like when he's that good. When Jamar Chase is that good, he destroyed Jefferson, who finished second by like 5 points a week. He's
Yeah.
got a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the NFL as his quarterback. Like
or
I just
maybe not
can't predict anyone's gonna get even close to Chase. Like with
Okay.
a reasonable
No
mindset.
one's chasing
Ma-
Chase.
yeah, maybe
That's
not
well said.
Chase. How about CD going into like the season he had
mean,
last year?
We'll see how we all
Yeah,
think of
let's
CD
save that one
later,
for the
but-
rankings.
Okay.
Because that's a good one. I actually was having a
Yeah.
tough time with ranking those
Yeah.
two versus each other.
Stay
Okay.
tuned for more on CD Lamb.
You know, I have you said you talked a lot about Jamar Chase, DT. I have another trade for you if you're interested.
Let's hear it.
And this one involves Jamar Chase. On one side, we have Jamar Chase and Caleb Williams. In exchange, you get Jaden Daniels and Puka Nacua. What say you?
Wait.
Can we
could you
decide
read
if
that?
this is super flex or not?
What do you say? Let's say it's super flex. The QBs
Okay.
matter.
Daniels and Nakua for Williams and Chase in a super flex.
That's a good one. Another good one. Wow. I'm shocked, Cheyenne.
You said it is super flex?
Yeah,
It is
let's
super
let's
flex.
pretend it is.
All right,
12
it's
team
super-
super
okay.
flex.
In a super flex, I'm taking the Daniels Nakua side, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because
Let's look at non-super flex. I think that's
What makes it a
little
harder
too easy.
choice for you?
I think the super flex one makes it tougher because I think in a super flex league, a case could be made that Daniels and Chase are like the top 2 players. Like probably
Yeah.
are the top 2 players, at least in my opinion, overall.
Absolutely.
So then it comes down to like, well, how do you compare Caleb Williams versus Nakua? It's
Cool
pretty
all
close
day.
it's pretty close in a super flex. It's not close at all in a 1 QB. But I still say even in a super flex, Nakua would still edge out Caleb. but it's closer.
Shayan, in this Reddit post, did it say what you remember what it said about the
I
situation?
don't remember. I can try to find
That's
it if
fine.
we're interested, but I think it's
That's
this is
okay.
all the info we got for now.
Wait, Zach, quick follow up for you then. What kind of quarterback would you think it would have to be on the Caleb Williams side for you to take that side? Like Jordan, maybe not Jordan Love, but
Like no, I think that's the right tier. Like if that goes to like a Bo Nix instead of Caleb Williams, that makes it compelling. I think that's a pretty even trade.
mm,
You know, I think in that, so like maybe one tier up from where Caleb is right now.
like a CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, those guys.
CJ Stroud's tough for me if I
Yeah.
even view him above Caleb
Yeah,
Williams.
okay.
We'll get to that in the
okay.
rankings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one tier up from Caleb, and it's a pretty good discussion.
Okay.
Quick question
where
for
I
you
am.
guys while we're talking Superflex quarterbacks. What do you guys think of Mahomes these days?
Great guy on all
I
accounts.
mean,
Overhyped.
fantasy?
Yeah.
3-time champion. Go ahead.
In
Yeah.
fantasy?
Yeah,
In
Fantasy.
fantasy?
I don't want him on my
3-time
teams.
champion in fantasy? No.
Like, is he top 5, top 10?
He's not top 5. It's easy no.
I feel like most people still have him top 5.
I
He's
agree.
not even top 10.
That's why we
People
sold
just
high on him.
have an image of him that he's not really living up to, but he could. He had before, but they don't play that same game they used to with him now.
I think it's tough because
I don't know what it
he's
is.
awesome still in real life. And it's
Kind
just
of.
No,
still
he
a baller.
is.
I mean, he is.
he's a
yeah.
baller. He is a straight on baller. But
I've seen him choke a lot more than he used to. More recently.
Mahomes?
Oh, God. Here
Yeah.
it comes.
Does he though?
Yeah, lay out the
Yeah.
case. When did he choke?
Dude, because I feel like at the start he was making incredible passes and maybe lucky passes or something, but they would like just end up working out. Then more recently he tries those same passes and they just don't work, but he tries them because he had made them work before. I don't know if it's the team around him or what it is, but it just doesn't click the same.
Didn't they like get to the Super Bowl though?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
3 years
Didn't
in
they
a row.
win like
maybe.
3 other Super Bowls, though?
Okay.
I'm just saying if you get to
But
the
I
Super
think it
Bowl
was a
and
team
you're
effort
saying he
too.
chokes is crazy.
Okay.
I mean, they got blown out in that game, but
That wasn't his fault.
that was just the
Yeah.
Eagles demolishing them
Yeah.
in like every
Okay.
way.
Fine. I rescind this one.
Rescinded. Can we get a Jason Mason update, Nitul? Are we still high on Jason Mason?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Jason Mason. We'll get to it in the top 10s.
Oh, in
I
the
sure
top
hope
10s.
not.
Oh, my God.
JK.
For those who don't know, Jason Mason is Jordan Mason. Okay, Cheyenne. Hit
You
us
want
with
another banger?
one.
You want
Hit us
another
with
banger?
another
Okay.
one.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry for this one. Let's be imaginative here, okay? That's the preface I'm gonna give. On one side, you got Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson. They decided to include Jonnu Smith here out of nowhere.
Game changer.
Game changer, right?
What
Josh
is it,
Allen,
tight end
Justin
5 last
Jefferson, Jonnu Smith. In exchange, you get Travis Hunter, 3 2026 firsts, 3 2027 firsts, and a 2028 first.
Excuse
So Hunter
This
and
is
7 firsts.
Hunter and 7 firsts for Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, and Jonnu Smith.
Wow.
Well, Johnny's worth at least four of those firsts on his
Oh,
own.
absolutely.
All right. How many first do you value for top 2 or 3 receiver and top 3 quarterback and Johnny Smith? That's a crazy one. I don't even know how to comprehend this one.
I
That's-
mean, it's like one side is massive rebuild opportunity, one side. I mean, you're not even getting that like that much in exchange, though, is the issue.
Here's the breakdown, right? Let's just say, follow me. So Josh Allen, is it crazy to say worth 3 firsts?
That's fair.
Sure.
Okay. Justin Jefferson, 3 firsts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, and at that point it becomes Jonnu Smith for Travis Hunter and another first. We doing
Yeah,
that?
2 firsts right there.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
But so you're kind of banking on Josh, like getting another Josh Allen out of 3 firsts, right? Like one of those 3 firsts is going to be a Josh Allen. One of those other 3 firsts is going to be a Justin Jefferson. I
That's
see the Justin Jefferson side of it. I don't see the Josh Allen
Maybe
side
not
of
the
it as
Justin
much.
Jefferson. Like,
See,
you'll
that's a
never
good
know.
point by Natul. Like, what is the exact probability here of like each first turning into a stud? It's probably lower than we think to be that level of stud. So
To be a top 2 or 3 stud, yeah.
exactly.
But
And
say
it's
you
in the,
get. Okay, go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say it's in the future, but I guess that's part of the trade. But go ahead.
But you have to match, like, okay, like let's just say you're not getting stud for stud, like Josh Allen for 3 firsts. Like you have to, the values like Josh Allen, let's say, I don't know. Let's just take for this year. Like let's say you got Josh Allen and then maybe you were able to, with 3 firsts, let's just say you got Hunter, I don't know, Hampton.
We don't know how
And-
any of these players are going to
But
play
yeah,
out.
or Ted. Or I'm just saying, like those.
Well, you also just gave
But
the
yeah.
2, 3, and 4 in this draft. Like you just gave 3 high firsts.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's do Hampton. I don't know.
Loveland.
Loveland.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
Loveland
like
too.
Egbuka.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know how they're going to play out, but
Yeah.
you know,
You
Can't
have to
really say
pay a
anything on
premium. If you're giving up picks, you have to pay a premium to get one of these like top 2 or 3 players at the position, right? Like in our leagues, we often talk about like Amon-Ra St. Brown and what he goes for. It's like 3 firsts, 4 firsts. Like a case can be made that it's like 4 firsts is a fair price for these top 3, 4 guys.
okay.
But in this case, I would like this one
Yeah.
without Travis Hunter. Like
Yeah. Let me posit you that. So remove Travis Hunter and remove Jonnu Smith. I don't know what he's doing in there. Okay.
yeah, fuck that guy.
Let's say we got 6 firsts. Ignore the
Mhm.
2028. 3 2026 firsts, 3 2027 firsts. Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson. What are you doing in that situation?
I need
Yeah,
Hunter.
Did you say 6 first or 7?
6.
6.
6, okay.
This one's definitely like a super team dependent one.
Yeah.
Like if your
Yeah.
team already that's giving up the first already has like Saquon Barkley and like a Puka Nacua, like these guys that are great now, I would give up like basically all my first to get Allen and Jefferson. But if my team has some holes and it still has some holes after getting Allen and Jefferson, I'm not gonna give up like every pick I'm gonna have to get those 2 players.
Absolutely.
And there's no way this is a real question, because who has Josh Allen and Jefferson who's not making a like run for the championship, who's looking to rebuild with Hunter or 6 firsts?
No, but it doesn't matter though. Like if that was your team and you got offered this, like all those
You-
picks in Hunter, you'd smash accept, I
You
think.
have to
Not
take
if I'm
it. You have
pushing
to
to
take
win
it.
this year.
You
Really?
got
Not if
you
I
got
wanted
so
to.
much
No,
value.
Just
dude.
on value. Even you can even
Yeah.
pawn those off later for something good.
And let's look at the other side. If you have, I'm going to go back to the Hunter scenario here. If you have Hunter and 7 firsts, you're definitely rebuilding. You definitely sold a lot of assets. What are you going to do with just Allen and Jefferson? And Johnny Smith.
But let's just
And
say like these
Jonathan.
are the only 2 good people on his team.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's so unlikely, but I would say
Like-
if those,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I guess
Like,
I mean, that's a good point. Like if those are the only 2 good players.
Like these were like his first 2 draft picks in like that dynasty draft.
Yeah. All right.
This is a franchise
sure.
saving trade for the team that's giving up Allen and Jefferson if they're like
Yeah.
somehow struggling with those 2.
Right.
And I don't know, it's way too much to give up for me.
In that case, I'm siding with the firsts.
But I like that one, Shayan.
It's a
It brings
fun
up the question of like that same point about someone that's really elite. Like I remember a year ago, Nitul drafted Malik Neighbors, and I was really trying to get this man. And I think at one point I was like, Nitul, if I gave you like hypothetically 4 firsts, would you give me Neighbors? And it was like going back and forth, and like you were thinking. I think now it's probably a no, but it was like highly debatable. So it's that question of like, at what point do you take the value? Because most likely none of those 4 picks are going to get anywhere close to a top 2 or top 3 player. But if 2 of them do, then your team is insane.
Then it's insane.
But I mean, don't you also have to think of these draft picks value as like what can you get from the league? Like you pawn them off. You know what I mean?
I knew
the
this
best
man was
move
gonna
is the
say
next
that.
move. The best
This
move is
is-
the next move.
He's the trader. He's
The trader.
trader.
The
It's
trader
the goal in
speaks.
Dynasty is to win every year, not to get last place every year.
No, I'm saying use
God.
these picks to get players.
That for context, viewers, the last place in one of our leagues was Aditya.
Hey, 2 years running. Don't
2
sell him
years running.
short. Literally running.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait,
Huh?
in like our redraft league?
Doesn't matter what league.
Okay, alrighty. Tell them who won last year.
I honestly don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I bet you don't.
Yeah, no idea. All right, Shine, hit us with another one or two more.
All right,
That
this
was-
one's actually interesting. I think this one's
The last one was good.
last
Yeah,
one was
that
good.
was
This
good.
one's but good in a different way. You know, we got a 12-team league, 0.5 tight end premium, and a PPR league. One side you get Brock Bowers, other side JSN, and then the 2025 1-4 and 1-8. So round 1 pick 4 and round 1 pick 8.
Zach, do you think we could show the viewers the screenshot of this?
No. It's
We
a
can
little
o-
too
we can
distorted for the
overlay it.
viewers.
It's a little bit smushed.
We can
Whoever
overlay
pasted
later.
this in, it was
Yeah.
a little. That was my first thought too. Is why is this one? Why does this look like this? Okay, so you said Bowers on one side for JSN, the 104 and 108 on the other side,
But you got a 0.5 tight end
and
premium.
a 0.5 tight end premium
PPR league 12 team.
PPR league.
Oof, man, this is good.
So since this is 2025, we can actually like put players to these picks, right? So let's say it's JSN, Tet, and pick your tight end. You know, because
Yeah.
you're actually, I guess, yeah, because they'd be giving up Bowers, right? So call it Loveland, Tet, and JSN for Bowers. It's probably what that would come out to. That's tricky.
It is. It is. And this is why we put it in the chat so we could discuss this beauty of the
Either
trade.
Tet or Hunter, probably, right?
Yeah, one of the two. Let me get Bowers though.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I was about to say
Refer to our
Loveland
last
is gonna be
episode.
great, and he's gonna be, he could be as good as Bowers. And then you get JSN and another first on top of that. Hard to say no to.
What exactly do you love about Loveland, though?
I
The
love
land.
that love is in his name.
He loves the land.
He loves the land.
Love
Loveland's
the
a little,
land.
Loveland's a little scary.
He is.
I've been kind of fading on Loveland a little bit. Too many mouths to feed up in Chicago.
Another one of those phrases.
Yeah.
You got
Shannon's
you
favorite
got
f-
DJ
phrase.
Moore, you got Odunze, you've got Burden now. What if Caleb Williams is still not great? I mean, I think he'll be better, but what if he's not great? Loveland has some injury issues. I don't know. I
He's
have him in my
questionable
league,
right
but
now.
I'm scared of him a little bit.
One of Zach's anti-world hunger takes on the pod. Too many mouths to feed.
Too many mouths to feed.
Call the population. That's Zach Eisner, 2025.
It's a good point, but I feel like tight ends on those kinds of teams end up doing really well for some reason. Where it's like, the team maybe underperforms as a whole. They have like targets, but in my opinion, a quarterback that can't get the job done, he's gonna look for his big target and he's gonna just toss it up to him and let him do his best with it.
But like who though? Who's an
Yeah.
example of that?
Who's an example?
I've
Brock
seen it too,
Bowers is
but
an
I'm also-
Because
example.
I to me, I think it's like the opposite. Like I mean, conceptually, I agree. Like tight ends are easier to pass to, right? They're closer to the middle of the field. So that's true. I think that might be the case a bit with Warren going to the Colts with Richardson, who like can't throw. But like I'm just trying to think who that's been the case for, right? Like if you look at who the best tight ends have been lately, it's been on teams with good quarterbacks. It's been Kelsey. It's been Andrews. Like it's been guys like Kittle.
I mean, but Mahomes chucks though, so
Mahomes sucks. I forgot.
yeah,
Yeah, Mom sucks.
yeah.
It was kind of
Uh,
true with Jonnu Smith last year. Like the Dolphins' offense sucked, and they just for some reason kept spamming Jonnu Smith. But that was
Yeah.
that was strange. I don't know what that was.
Where have I seen it? Having trouble with an example on this one.
We'll get back to you. Shayan, what do you think on this one?
Oh man.
Is Darren Waller maybe?
Darren. Oh yeah, Darren
Yeah,
Waller was a
that's
good
kind of
example
one.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Derek Carr then?
But I need
Maybe was
Nitul
right.
to come up with one, so it doesn't count. Just kidding.
Well, you took mine.
Maybe the Raiders just have a thing for tight ends. You know, they
Yeah.
pass their tight ends.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe it's just the team.
It's tough. You know, like I think it's team composition dependent. If you're doing well in your other positions, I'm taking Bowers. But if my team could use like some overall beefing up and it's kind of weak overall, I think I would give up that premium to take the package here. Value wise, we're talking pure value. Geez, it's tough in a tight end premium league.
Let me ask you a question
Man.
on that, Cheyenne, on the value point. In a tight end premium league, what do you think you could trade Bowers for? Like strictly in picks? Like he's in that same conversation of like 4 firsts
Yeah.
type of guy, maybe even more, or just
I mean,
untouchable.
what kind of premium are we talking? Are we talking this 0.5 premium that's in this hypothetical trade, or
Yeah,
a
so
one
like
premium?
so like 1.5 points per reception for the tight ends.
Okay,
Right.
okay. So then in that case, I think Bowers would be huge, like top
Like
3.
I don't think you can get him, basically.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
might, honestly, yeah. It's like 5. I mean, you just can't. Like it's not worth it at all. It's like not even worth crafting a trade for that. You just gotta say your condolences that it wasn't you that got
Mhm.
Bowers.
Zach,
Exactly.
quick question for you, or I guess everyone. Would you guys do, or I can save this later, actually. Never mind. I can save it for the tight end part.
And for the rankings. All right. Anyone have any final thoughts on this one, or should we do with the last?
What was the final vote on that? So I said Bowers.
I think I'm going Bowers as well.
Cheyenne
Yeah,
said
same.
Bowers, and Nitul, you
I
went
think
the other
y'all
side.
swayed me. Y'all swayed
Okay,
me.
all for Bowers. Okay, still
Yeah,
a good one
tight
though.
end
You're
premium. Yeah.
3 for 3 or 4 for
3 for
whatever it's
3.
been. 3 for 3.
All right, we have a very fun one. This guy says, "Update: Giants fan really wanted Neighbors and paid for him." Submitted by Redditor, who is Mike Bean. We will never know, but we will know this trade offer that he had accepted. On one side, you have JSN, Lad McConkey, 2026 first, 2027 first for Malik Neighbors. It's a pretty
easy.
simple one, man.
That's
It's a pretty
insane.
simple one. The Giants fan, he was really a Giants fan. Number 1
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
That went through and accepted. That's insane.
Yeah,
Giants
that's
fan.
too much to give for him.
Listen,
I
folks.
love Neighbors, but you can't give up all that.
I think this actually a good point though, because I feel like there are these kinds of trades that exist in a lot of leagues. There is a guy who will overpay. So I think like if you're active enough, you can find these kinds of trades.
Absolutely.
I know
Yeah.
Zach knows that.
Yeah, you got to know your league. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
If Jordan Addison clears this trial,
Yeah.
Dits, like the owner could go to you and say, "Hey, give me a first for Addison," and you'll bite on that so quick because you
Hey,
love
now
Jordan
settle
Addison.
down.
What if this was voice cry? What if this was just JSN and McConkey for Neighbors?
Keeping
But
Neighbors.
I'm going
Nah,
Neighbors.
I'm taking it. I'm going
Really?
Jason and McConkey.
Whoa.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck the Giants. I don't want to watch them.
But
No,
dude, if you watch
but
the
in
Giants, you're
true
just
value,
watching
yeah.
Neighbors, basically. They
I
just
know.
pass every single. Yeah.
No, I mean, I love
Yeah, well.
JSN. Like, I think, again, like good offenses, good quarterbacks, like just like a 2 for 1. I guess Neighbors gonna outscore JSN and McConkey every week. Probably not.
Maybe.
Probably.
I will say though, the fact that we really quickly switched to Neighbors on that for just 2 firsts less is
That's a big difference.
it is a big difference. Perhaps a smaller one than we thought though.
Yeah. I think for 1 first, it's like pretty fair. Like JSN, McConkey, and 1. Because I don't think as it is now, it's like insane. Because I have my McConkey, they're doing the whole, they obviously want to run the ball more.
Yeah.
JSN has Darnold, but that's for 1 season. What if he sucks and then they move to Milrow and he's not good? There's quarterback questions there. 2 firsts, you never know. So like It's some question marks for Neighbors, who I guess has his own question marks, but like not really. He's going to get like 12 targets a week. So I don't hate it.
Zach, is this how you convinced the other party to just throw in another first?
Yeah, there was some drama in the league. But
Well, we can save that for another.
yeah,
but,
yeah. You gotta just lay it out to them, break it down nice and simple for them, and next thing you know, you have Trey McBride on your team. So
yeah.
All right. I have one last quick one for you guys. Wait, do you have a final thought, Nitul, on this?
Yeah. Quick question, and I want quick answers on this. But let's say there's one more first in here, and
At
you know
three
that
first.
I think we all 3 first, and I think we all agree that's pretty absurd, right? If that's accepted, should that be vetoed? If
No,
this
no
if
vetoes.
the person on the neighbor's side is like, I love the Giants, I want Neighbors no matter what.
It's what you sign up for when you're in Dynasty.
Yeah,
Know your players.
can I give a 30? I know you said short. Can I give a 30-second rant
Yeah.
about Dynasty leagues?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Dynasty leagues are not fun if the people in the league are not fun, right? Like if they don't want to trade, if they don't know how fantasy works. One, if it's a new person who wants to be in a fantasy league and doesn't know how to like make trades, there should probably be a rule in place saying, hey, like this person is not a viable trade candidate right away until they know what's going on. But in the end, like the people, you're committed to the league indefinitely. If they don't know football or they don't want to pay attention in the league, you should find someone else to take their spot. I'm very anti-veto in general, unless there's like clear collusion going on. But it's tricky if you have like 11 good people and one who just like won't trade or anything.
I hear that, but let's offer the scenario. What if it's like a trade so bad that it kind of ruins it for the rest of the league?
But I guess the question is like, how did that go through then? Is it because one side didn't know
Yes.
the players? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're brand new to football and they're learning how to do fantasy, I think that's a different situation. And maybe there's just like no trades going on. I think the expectation though is that people like kind of know somewhat the values of players, and then it's open season to like, if you make a dumb trade, that's on you. You can't just do that and then dip from the league though. That kills it.
Yeah. We got a libertarian in the podcast. You heard it here first. Zach.
I guess I pissed off Nitul. He dipped.
He left. He left. He was so mad at what you had to say.
Perfect. My goal has been achieved.
All right. Then we'll do a quick yes or which side do you prefer on this last trade here?
Cool.
He's back.
Damn
Nitul, we're just doing a quick one side. Which side do you prefer on this last one? It's very simple. Garrett Wilson for the 2025 second pick of the draft. So first round, second pick. Which side? I'm going to start off. I'll say Garrett Wilson for me.
I'd say super close, but I lean slightly 102.
Same.
Yeah, I want the potential of the 102.
102.
Not loving Garrett Wilson.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm not low on Garrett Wilson. I'm still super high on him for the record. I don't know.
But just one question, Cheyenne. Let's say it was the 103, right? So assume like Genty and Hampton went.
Yeah.
It's basically Wilson for Tet or Wilson for Hunter. Do you take? I guess you took Wilson either way, but like maybe Dits since you went in the 102. Would you take Wilson over both those guys?
Yeah, I would.
It would be much easier for me as well. I would pick Wilson without a doubt. Here I was doubting a little bit, but I still pick Wilson.
Yeah. Okay, I would ask Nitul, but his chair can't talk, so we'll just move on.
I think it's very close though, 102 for Garrett Wilson, just because I think raw talent wise, I think Garrett Wilson is probably better than Hampton.
I would get the 102 and
okay.
trade up for Ashton Genty.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Heard it here first.
Nitul, Tet or Garrett Wilson, one for one.
Tet.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What about Hunter and Wilson, one for one?
I don't like Wilson. So Hunter.
Damn.
I
Okay.
don't like Hunter
Okay.
that much either. But
Is there a reason? Why don't you like Wilson?
Well, we'll see in the
Oh.
rankings, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll save it for the rankings. All right, Shine, those are great. Those are all balanced. I think we'll have to do a part 2 of that at some point. Maybe
course,
we'll do
I'm glad
like
you guys
a
enjoyed.
redraft version of it or something like that.
Very nice.
And thank you to Reddit as well.
Thank you, Redditors.
All right, so next we're doing a quick top 10. We'll go kind of position by position. We'll each share our top 10 for one of them. Dynasty as of today. QB, running back, receiver, and tight end. Dits, how about you? How about you do your QB? Maybe so run through your top 10 pretty quick, and then maybe if one or two guys stand out to us, we'll
Okay.
consult you then.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay. I have number 1. I have Jaden Daniels. 2, Josh Allen. It hurt me to say that, but 3 is Lamar. I had 4, Jalen Hurts. 5, Joe Burrow. Any issues so far?
So far, so good.
Issues.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think this is where I got a little creative.
I mean, I have some
I
issues,
just
but
switched
nothing
Burrow
major.
and
Okay.
Hurts, but that's fine.
Okay. 6, I had Drake May. I know it's projection, but I'm really high on him. Like the variable offense, and I just think that offense will be much better. The dude has wheels to him. My next one was also a projection, Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be
Whoa.
awesome. I think that offense is going to be so good, and I want
See it?
every bit of the Jaguars offense going into these
Into
next
you?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I want Lawrence. I want Hunter. I want BTJ.
Like
I want-
personally, you want that?
Yeah. Hey, man. He's a married man, isn't he? They named a
Hey,
stadium after
not
this
for
man.
long.
What is it? Remember?
You go get him, Dits. You go
Yeah,
get him.
there was. I forget what the stadium's name was.
Duval.
Yeah. What is the stadium's name? Oh
Duval
God,
Stadium.
it was like something.
Duval
Kinda-
State.
It was like
That's what
a
it should
Trevor
be.
Lawrence pun. They actually changed the stadium name. But yeah, and
Don't
this is
know.
where I put. Anyways, but going back to my list, 8 is Mahomes. 9, CJ Stroud. I don't love it. Actually, no, I'm switching. 9 is Jordan Love. 10 is CJ Stroud.
Wait, who did you have 6 and 7?
Drake May and Trevor
Oh, I see.
Lawrence.
And then?
Okay, let me ask a question on this little list of yours. You have Drake May 6. I also have Drake May 6th. Yep, I have him 6th as well. He is nowhere to be found on Natul's list. So
He's not there.
quick
I like him. I like
quick
him a lot.
debate on
but
that.
I think we need to see more from him first.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all.
I
I
hear
like
that.
him a lot.
And you
He's
have
like
him on
Russian
you have him
quarterback.
on yours? I think you have him at 9.
Yeah, he's 7 for me.
Oh,
Where's
7,
Bo
okay.
Nix though?
Do you guys know?
9 for me.
What-
But we'll talk
Where is he
about
for
that.
Dits? I didn't hear his name.
Who? Bo
Oh,
Nix?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, where's Bo Nix?
He's
Where
out of
the
my
fuck
top
is
10.
Bo? Oh, he's 7th for me.
He's also 7th for
Okay.
me.
He's
Wow.
8. He's 9 for me.
Yeah. Dude, he's
you
playing
don't like
so
Bo?
well.
You
I
don't
don't
know
know. I
Bo.
mean, maybe that's just
He-
my bias. I'm not there yet with Bo.
Okay. I guess
And
that's
it's
how
like,
I
I
am
know
with Drake
the
May.
same argument can be
Yeah,
made. But yeah.
I get it.
But I mean, it's just the rushing stuff. Like, did you guys know Drake May led? He had the second most scramble yards.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think he was behind,
speedy.
like,
He's
Lamar.
a speedster. Yeah.
Dude had like 400 yards on just scrambles alone. So I was like the dude has some wheels to him too, and he's that offense is gonna get better receivers. Big Daddy in the wide receiver room now.
They do
I
have
mean,
Big Daddy Diggs.
not just him, but yeah.
It is something when like your offensive line is so bad, like you'd think that's always going to hurt the quarterback, which it usually does. But
Yeah.
if they're also mobile,
Yeah.
they just have to scramble so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a stat that was like the average scramble is like double as valuable in fantasy as
Yeah.
a designed quarterback run because you
Yeah.
just you consistently break away for 15, 20 yards, right? Versus just a 5 or 6 or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
But with
So,
mobility,
I kind of like
if
that.
you're looking at what quarterbacks are mobile, you got to also look at if they're aware too of their surroundings. Their awareness needs to be high, or the mobility doesn't matter. If someone comes up behind
You
them,
mean like Anthony Richardson, the very aware, never gets injured, always runs safe in a safe way?
does he? Is that sarcasm?
No.
I was thinking RG3, who is super fast, but never knew when someone was about to tackle him, and it led him to
Yeah.
That was a
where he is.
freak injury though.
Yeah, the injury was, but he never slid, and he always got hit hard. And I mean, people saw it coming.
Okay.
Eventually, he was going to get hurt from how he was playing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question for Dits on quarterbacks, then we'll move on. Dits, you don't have Justin Herbert on your top 10. Cheyenne has him at 8. Nitul has him at 6. And I have him at, what is it, 8? 8. So,
Yeah,
like, we all have him in our top 8. You don't have him in your top 10.
he was
Thoughts
probably
on
11 for
Herbie?
me. I was going between Herbert, Stroud, and Love at 9, 10, 11. I just think ultimately, I mean, I think I like Herbert more in real life. It just those offenses, like I think I just lean towards that. Like we've seen like how CJ Stroud thrives and like if he has a good offense. I just think the Texans as a whole last year, they've like didn't they get a new OC too? I think Sloke's gone. Yeah, I mean Sloke's definitely gone. But I just think for Houston it's more of a reset year. The dude has a lot of talent. He's still a second year quarterback too. Whereas I'm willing to bet on that upside maybe a little more than Herbert, who's been in the league what now? To the Tua class, right? It's been a while.
Yep.
But
Yep.
so that's where it was, and I just personally have a bias towards Jordan Love. I remember seeing a thing with Warren Sharp about there's this insane stat about how it is detailing like how much the Packers receivers messed up routes and like just receiver errors affected Jordan Love the most this year or this past year, and he was still like what in that top 10, 12-ish range. Whereas I think Jordan Love had a down year. I think you can get him for cheap if you wanted to. He's an older quarterback, but still relatively young in like terms of being a starter. But that's kind of where I was. And Herbert, I love him. It's just I'm just higher. Again, my list was more of like who I think will end the year as a top 10 guy.
Well,
But
the Chargers are also a run first offense, right? So I could
right
see
now,
that case.
I would
kind of
think
know
so.
the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know what we're getting from him, even when he was throwing a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to running backs. Maybe I'll give my list if that works for you guys. I think we've debated these top 3 before, and so I think the order is interchangeable, which I see within all of our lists. I have Bijan number 1, Genty number 2, Gibbs number 3, tier break, Achan 4, Hampton 5, Irving 6, tier break, Saquon 7, Kyron 8, Travion Henderson 9, and JT 10th. And then my 2 honorable mentions were Breece Hall and Quinshon Judkins. What do you guys think of that? Because one thing I saw was I think all of you had Breece Hall in your top 10, and I, as the owner of him, did not have him in mine. So that was an interesting one.
I
Zach,
forgot about Kyron Williams' existence. Brees is
Ooh.
off.
Dang.
And
Question,
one of the other people
Zach.
you named.
Yeah.
Let's say Breece Hall just continued having like a normal Breece Hall year last year.
Bro,
How would that
fuck
change
Breece
it?
Hall.
I agree, but like he's only had one weird season.
Dude, I'll tell you what's going to happen with Breece Hall, okay?
Okay.
Breece Hall is going to finish this season as like RB 16, okay? Then that's like a guarantee. I just don't see how he finishes as like a top 5, like definitely not top 5, top 10's even like stretching it. I don't see him falling below like 20 if he stays healthy. He just is too involved in the offense. And then the question is like, does he go to a new team on a new contract or not? If he goes to like, I don't know, the Cowboys next season, he could be great. But like, I just don't see it happening next
But
season.
nobody on the Jets was good last year. I mean, I guess Wilson was
Devontae
still
Adams
okay.
and Wilson
Was
were
it the
both top
Rodgers
10,
effect?
top 12 receivers.
But like maybe towards the end, like when
They finished
Like-
the season as wide receiver 1s,
Yeah.
which is crazy, but they both did.
yeah, I mean, but for the majority, because I had Garrett Wilson. I mean, he was fine, but I'm like, I think there was like a few weeks towards the end of the season where Rodgers really got going and was just like it was just an air raid. Man, I'm just not as down on Breece Hall. I just think he had one weird year.
I don't love Breece
No
Hall,
one in
but
that offense really.
I hope he's better than I think
I
he'll
don't
be.
love Breece Hall. I was looking at Travion Henderson to add to my list, but just from Breece Hall being more proven, I just kept him there. But it's respectable to drop him from that 10.
Anyone have any big? I guess Dits, you have him at 6. You have Breece Hall over Hampton, which is kind of
Yeah.
wild to me. Like if
Wow.
you're the Brees Hall owner and I send you Hampton, based on this list, you're gonna decline that trade.
Wow.
If that's me, I'm hitting accept
Mashing.
before it
Okay.
even like comes
Okay,
through
fine.
on
I
Sleeper.
probably hit accept, but I just don't think that gap is like. I'll probably need a little more if I'm giving up Brees Hall for that. I just
So
I
you
don't
wouldn't
want
hit
to
accept.
undersell Brees Hall.
So you would hit decline is what you'd hit. You'd hit counter is what you'd hit, and then they'd
Yeah,
decline your counter, which is
I
the
could
story
be
of your
talked
dynasty
into
life.
it. I could be talked into it. I'm just like, we know, like what? I remember hearing this like kind of a crazy stat recently, how Greg Roman offenses, there's been one running back who's had 200 or more carries in a Greg Roman offense. Do you guys just guess? Who do you think it is?
I don't even know.
Zach, you should know.
Was it Gus?
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
who?
Mark fucking Ingram at 204.
True.
And like the
Respect.
next highest was like 144. So again, I love Hampton. Maybe I probably can be talked into that, but like I'm just not gonna undersell Brees Hall right now. The dude was on like he had like flame shooting out of his ass like 2 seasons ago, like after the season ended. And I just think the Jets were a total dumpster fire. And like now we have Justin Fields, and like maybe it's like a fully run first offense. And like I could see like a top 10 finish in Brees Hall. So that's where I am, but we can agree to disagree.
You haven't had to watch him the last couple.
No, I had him on our was it like the league I won?
I don't remember that happening, so I don't know.
Okay. Settle down. Did I trade him? Yes, I did.
There we go. All right.
All right. Okay, so I think it looks like from all of our lists we have like pretty similar. Only last thing I'll call out is Nitul. You have Saquon at 4.
Yeah. You have him very
Kinda
low.
He's
bold.
old. He's old.
Yeah, but he's so good.
Yeah, he's like what, 29?
He's so good.
Where do you guys have
Did you guys
him?
see that interview where Saquon is talking about how he feels like he could just retire all of a sudden?
I did
That's what I'm
not.
saying.
All right, let me adjust this real
Wow.
quick.
So Dits has him at 9.
It says that insider info.
I have him at 7, and Cheyenne has him at. Where do you have him, Cheyenne? 8.
With that
So Natul's-
info, I'm
Natul's
definitely
big
lowering
high
him.
on.
But I mean, he's so skilled.
I mean, he also is
So
like what,
skilled on
28?
such a good offense. He's gonna have the ball so much. For a win now team, he's pretty high. I mean, dynasty average, maybe
Yeah.
drop him down a bit.
But what about in a pure value?
That's dynasty average, right? So in average leagues, like
So that-
average
with
team,
that-
then drop him a little bit.
To 4.
No, like 6.
But he's 4 on your
No,
list.
I know. Yeah, I guess that's. I didn't know
Did
he
you
was like
see
ready
how
to
Natul
retire.
did you see how Natul did his rankings? Did you see the screenshots?
Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair
Cut him
enough.
some slack. Cut him some slack. Natul's in the win now mindset too
that's
in
the
Dynasty.
problem.
I think he's a little clouded by. He's going all in this year, so he's looking at these guys as like, how can I win right now with him, which is fair.
Indeed.
And Dits is like, who can I get the most picks out of, which is also fair.
All right.
All right, let's move on to tight end, and Cheyenne's gonna take us away on his rankings and give us his thoughts here.
I mean, I think the first 2 are undisputed, right? Brock Bowers,
First 2,
Trey McBride. Any objections there? Do you guys have the same?
I'm good with
Where's
that.
my-
That's
yeah.
what I.
But your next one's about to be crazy.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
But Tucker
Oh
Kraft.
my god!
Objection.
Tucker Kraft.
Objection.
Yeah.
Drop him in there.
Objection.
Drop it. Listen. Who do you think had the? You know what? Let me start with this. Yards after catch per reception. What do you guys think of that stat?
That's a good stat.
Dude, this is a Jason Mason take, dude.
That's
This is
a
a
good stat.
Jason Mason take.
Hey Cheyenne, can you quickly look
God-
up how many receptions Tucker Kraft had last season?
God bless those.
I can
next
tell you
gen
it's 50.
stats. That's great. He's gonna do even better this year.
And it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
3 a game would beat that.
Oh my God, he's gonna do. In terms of pure skill, man, this guy he's got the juice.
He's got the juice.
He has the second most yards after catch per reception in the
Who's
entire
the
league.
first?
Marvin Mims.
Great company to be with.
That's fair.
So why isn't Marvin Mims on your top 10?
Because first of all, He's got 39 receptions on the year, but
Again,
Kraft
how many
thinks-
did Tucker
yeah.
Kraft have?
I think
50.
Kraft is due for a big increase. Who's the other guy on their tight end squad?
Musgrave.
Musgraves. Yeah,
He's a blocker, dude. I think.
he's-
Cheyenne, how about we do a little exercise I like to call who are the other pass catchers on this team?
That's the thing. There's so many.
on the
Nay,
Packers,
let's.
we got
We don't even have to
Reed,
get that far. Okay, go ahead.
Dobbs, Reed, Dobbs, Wicks, Watson, and then the new guy, Golden, yeah.
No, hey,
5
too many
people.
mouths to feed. Say it with me,
Yeah.
boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too many mouths to feed.
Too many.
Call the population, man.
Okay, Shayan, continue
All right.
on.
Yeah, then we got Sam Laporta. You know, he had that great first year. Second year was a little questionable there. Then we got Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, Isaiah Likely. I put right after here at 7. I think once Mark Andrews, once his bones go frail, then he's gonna be good in like a major way. He's been great every time I've seen him play. So, and then we got T.J. Hawkinson, and he's young, by the way. Then we got T.J. Hawkinson. I'm not too high on him with his recent injury. But then we got George Kittle.
It's been more
who
than
I
a
think
year,
is-
though.
Yeah. Wait, has it been? Did he play last year fully?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
towards the
time's
ACL
flying.
2 seasons ago.
Oh my God, the time's flying. Well,
He's
then
the
I got
candidate
George
for the
Kittle.
year after guy.
Yeah. Okay. Then I got George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid. Kittle's old, but I mean, he's kind of a beast.
4-year extension, right? South Seattle.
Exactly.
Wow, I don't even know what to think
I know,
anymore
it's a little
after
wild.
this blockbuster Kraft ranking. So Shayan, let me just to ask here, if realistically, you know, all joking aside, I send you a trade right now, Laporta for Kraft. You have Kraft. You're declining that trade?
Oof.
Okay.
Don't do that to me.
Adjust it now.
Don't put me in these logical mind teasers.
Adjust it
Yeah, I'm
now.
taking Laporta.
There you go.
I'm
Get me.
taking Laporta.
I like the
realistically, I think
Yeah.
maybe he's going like 10. I'll put him at 10. How about
No,
that?
that's way too low.
Okay.
Don't-
Fine.
That's not way
Okay.
too low.
Put him back
Shayan,
at
what
3.
do these rankings mean to you, Shayan?
Okay,
What-
Dits, who,
It's a it's
real
a vibes
quick, who
thing,
do you
know? It's a
have
vibes
ahead
thing.
of them, Dits?
Me? I mean,
Or
I
just
have him
tell
at
me, like, your
9.
7, 8, 9.
Read
I
the list,
had-
Dits.
I had Brick Bowers as my Google Doc said. It was a typo. I know his first name. I had Trey McBride, Laporta. I think the top 3 are undisputed. Anyways, and then from there I went Loveland, Kittle, Hawkinson, Warren, Likely, Kraft, Njoku.
You don't have Kincaid on there?
No. But I mean, I can see him having a good season. Maybe Kincaid goes 10, but
Just to say, Dits, my top 3 is different than your top 3. I actually have Kittle ahead of Laporta in mine.
So
Really?
old though.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
I know,
Whoa.
but I could
As
see
a
him just
dynasty
easily
asset?
being top 5 next 3 or 4 seasons. I feel like is like pretty safe with Kittle. I just don't know with
Injury risk, no?
Laporta. Yeah, but I mean, you know, he was pretty healthy the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He
last
was.
season he was.
He
Season
was.
before I think he
Some
was
hamstring
as
or something, I
well.
don't know.
I think
Yeah.
he's
They
one of those
signed
guys that
Purdy,
have
like
that-
he's staying there like for the next 5 seasons. Good offense. Well, losing Ben Johnson hurt the Lions. I don't know. Laporta is so touchdown dependent. It's close, but I go Kittle.
Wow, okay.
I have him much lower because of his age, but
That's fair. That's fair. Do we all have Likely top
I don't think
10?
I have
I would
him
hope
there.
so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, 8. I think 8 for me, 8 for Dits.
7 for me.
Oh,
Don't think I have him there.
Nitul is an Isaiah Likely hater.
I
Okay.
like him. I like likely, but
And this is with Likely being a tight end 2 on his own team.
that's
So
a
I think
Yeah.
this
good
is
point. So, do you have him ahead of Andrews? In
I
Dynasty?
have him at 8, and I have Andrews at 10.
Andrew's old, man. He's like 30, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 29 point something. About to be 30 in a couple of months. I just think he's still good, and I don't think necessarily if Likely replaces him on the Ravens that Andrews is just done. Like I think he could still go someplace else and be solid.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like he has 1 year left, But if it were me, if I have Andrews and someone offers me likely, I'm taking likely in Dynasty.
I agree.
Like pretty
Easy.
easily.
Smash accept,
But that's
yeah.
just me. Yeah.
Trust the Raven
But
fan
again,
on
if
that
you're
one.
win now, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just still pissed off about how the season ended.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I told Nitul came over and watched the game with me, and I told him if the Ravens lose, he needs to be nice to me, and he was not that nice.
I was so nice to you.
But I was just down
I
bad.
cradled
So
you
I
in
was,
my
it was
arms.
that did happen. That's true. There was no consoling me, to be honest.
Truly impossible.
Especially with the first half the Ravens put up that game.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do receivers.
So is that me?
Boy.
You are up, Nitul.
All right.
Can't wait for this.
Let's hope this goes well. So receivers, I have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors. At 4, I have Amon-Ra. 5, CD Lamb. 6, Puka Nakua. 7, BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. At 8, Drake London. I have Nico Collins at 9, and Lad McConkey at 10.
Okay. Let me ask you a little question, Nitul. Where do you view like the tier breaks in this top 10?
Tier breaks. Well, Jamar Chase is at the top of it. He is all alone on
Well, I
his
know he's
island.
at the top. Okay, he's
All
okay.
alone.
Own tier. Okay.
I'll do Jefferson, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, and CD Lamb together. Puka, BTJ, and Drake London. And then I'll do Nico Collins, Lad. Separated out as well.
Okay. So you have Lamb. You said
I have
Say it
3, right?
right.
I have Ram Lamb at 5.
Ram Lamb
at
at 5. Okay.
Which,
I see. Shayan has him at 3. Okay.
I mean, I obviously
Shayan
see
has
the
him at
case for
3.
him to go higher, but I feel like he's getting a little old. And in Dynasty, I'd rather have Neighbors and Amon-Ra than CD Lamb if I were to, get him at this point.
Pretty sure CD is only 1 year older than Chase.
Then who?
Yeah, CD Lamb's 26.2 and Chase is 25.3.
I don't know why my
Good point,
sources
Nitul.
told me 29.
Pretty close.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Flip that number right around.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But I'm still doing this. I'm still holding strong with this one. Yeah, Sean?
I'm gonna go ahead and mine says CD Lamb, then Malik, 3 and 4. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch those. I'm gonna put Malik above CD. I think he's just got so much more age on his side.
Hell yeah.
But other than that, I'm staying the same. Pardon.
Shayan, what was your full list, just out of curiosity?
We got Jamar Chase in his own tier, then Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, Malik Neighbors now, then CD Lamb, then Amon-Ra, then another tier break there, Puka, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, then a tier break probably AJ Brown, and then I have JSN and Lad kind of tied for 10th.
Okay.
Did
you
just
guys have
say
AJ Brown? in your
Garrett
list?
Wilson?
No.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson 8, AJ Brown 9.
So you don't like Drake? You don't like Drake London. I know that.
I don't like Drake London. Yeah,
Jake.
Jake London and CD Ram. That's ridiculous, but fine.
Dits,
how about you? What'd you have with your list, Dits? I'm just curious.
I didn't break it out by tiers, but I can do
That's
that,
fine.
right? So I had where'd it go? I had Chase, Jefferson, Lamb, BTJ, Neighbors. I know. Amon-Ra. This was hard. Nico and Puka was hard for me. Then I went JSN in London.
So I'm gonna pose the same hypothetical trade question that I've asked each of you. Dits, you have BTJ on your team. Nitul comes and says, "Hey, I'll trade you Neighbors for BTJ 1-for-1." You're declining that trade.
Wow.
Respect.
Wow.
That's
I mean,
bold.
part of my
Bold
fantasy.
takes was last week.
I mean, part of my fantasy just like approach is just like I want to watch like my favorite players too. But like I think this is close enough where I'm like I am so high on BTJ. I just am. Maybe I'm wrong with my evaluation on that, but like Neighbors got concussed twice last year. Twice or was it just once?
No, just one.
Just one. Okay. Anyways, like I know he was awesome. Like he was breaking all kinds of records, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm fully willing to take my bet on that. BTJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe real quick, just because mine's a little different, I'll say mine. I have Jamar Chase 1, own tier. I have Malik Neighbors number 2, ahead of
Wow.
Jefferson.
Okay.
Wow.
Neighbors 2, Jefferson 3, BTJ 4, CD Lamb 5, Amon-Ra 6. That's like kind of a big tier. And then a drop, Puka 7th, Drake London 8th, Nico Collins 9th, and then McConkey 10th in their own tier. So it was tough between Neighbors and Jefferson, but I was like, I think Neighbors is 4 years younger, and he's so good. So for me, it's tough between Neighbors, Jefferson, and BTJ. All of those in that like second best tier are tough, but I officially made the switch Neighbors over Jefferson, and BTJ over Lamb, which I think a couple months ago I probably would have done Jefferson, Lamb, 2 and 3. But
Wow. Okay.
I think,
I didn't have Nico Collins on my list.
yeah, we know.
Texans hater. Garrett Wilson.
You have Amon-Ra pretty low, Zach. Yeah.
Me? It's just like, where do you put
know.
him?
It's tough.
He's 6th, but is he better than CD,
I
BTJ,
mean, you see
Jefferson, Neighbors,
BTJ
Chase?
is
I don't
better than
think
Amon.
so. I think so.
You trade
so.
Question
for
for you.
you trade Amon-Ra for BTJ.
I would.
I would not.
Question for you guys. Quick question. So what do you guys think the biggest tier jump is? Like, for example, like, do you think the tier between like wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 is the biggest? Do you think like the gap between Bowers and McBride is the biggest? Like Bijan.
Oh, across all
Yeah.
positions.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
Case.
Man.
It's got to be the QBs, right? Or the tight ends.
I don't know
QBs
why,
or the
but I
tight
feel like
ends.
it's tight end, but
It might be.
I could just
Oh,
be
yeah, that
blinded
too.
by my Bowers love.
McBowers.
No, I think I may be blinded by my
Sam
Bowers love.
It could be tight ends. It's got to be
Brick
tight ends.
McBowers.
Brick McBowers.
Brick McBowers.
I think it can't be quarterback because I just viewed Daniels, Lamar, and
Yeah,
Allen too
I agree.
close.
I
It
don't
can't be
think
running back because I viewed Genty, Gibbs, and Bijan too close. So to me, it's fighting between Chase and whoever the second one is, and Bowers and McBride. That's tough. I think biggest is Bowers to McBride.
Okay, follow up.
Well,
to,
Zach,
yeah,
Daniels, Lamar, who would you say you view them close?
And Allen. I put Daniels number 1 and then Lamar 2, Allen 3.
I agree with you, but then the tier after that is so much lower.
Well, that's not the question here.
Oh!
Is that?
I thought Dits was just saying like on the top
1 and
tier,
2,
what's
yeah.
the biggest gap between best and second best?
Okay, like first and second player. You mean?
That's a different good question.
see.
Though. Which tier?
No,
gap
like
is
I guess just
biggest?
first tier and second tier. Oh,
Well,
I guess
yeah,
that's your point. Yeah, I see what
That's
you're
my
saying.
point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking best and then second best player.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I was asking, but yeah.
If
Amongst
not,
all
then
of
I
our
think it's
rankings.
definitely tight end because I think after McBride, there's also a huge drop off.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I just meant like who like your guy's wide receiver 2 versus your wide receiver 1 versus like tight end 1 versus tight end 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow up to that then. Say we have McBride, right? And you want to go get Bowers. How much are you giving up?
This is
Go
him
get
asking
Bowers.
for genuine trade advice, not as a discussion topic. He just needs to know. I think it's got to be like McBride and
A first.
at least a first.
Two.
It might be 2 to get Bowers.
Okay.
I think
Think
two
it's
would be
2?
fair. Yeah,
Okay.
I would probably do that to get Bowers. Give up 2.
especially in the tight end premium.
Zach, let's talk after this.
Yeah, let's stay on the line.
Yeah.
All right, let's just last thing. Anyone have any honorable mentions that they didn't get to mention across any of the positions. I had JSN, Marvin Harrison, and then like the new rookies Hunter and Ted as honorable mentions in receivers, but I can't put them in there yet. But you
Who
guys
the
have anyone
fuck
else
put
that's
Kyle Pitts as an honorable?
No, that might have been me.
Ew,
Oh
Dude, tight
my-
ends suck, dude.
Yeah.
Tight ends are gross.
you're gross.
I was thinking like 5 years from now, Andrews is gone, Kittle is gone, you know, Hawkinson's gone, Njoku's gone. Pitts
They'll
is just
be
gonna
new
still
guys.
be there. I know, but I'm like Pitts will just be chugging along, dude, with his
Oh
like
my.
tight end 10 finish. So honorable mention, but not on the list.
Oh my god. Does Adrian Peterson's son count? Class of 2030. Have you seen that man's mixtape? Man's running with a purpose.
Okay.
Well,
Go look him up though if you haven't.
Okay.
I don't have Josh Jacobs on my list. I might put him as honorable mention.
Yeah, I think I had him. Didn't
Oh,
I?
you had him.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs was my
Okay,
RB10.
nice. He made the cut then. No.
Another guy on the Packers offense, Cheyenne.
Too many mouths to feed
Yeah.
for Tucker Kraft
My.
Trucker.
But if
Crap.
Cheyenne's take is that they'll feed the white man, then maybe he's onto something.
Oh.
This podcast just got political.
And on that, let's cut it off before Dits starts going off the rails here. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We've made it 4 episodes in. You know, I think we're getting into the swing of things. You know, more things to come, more betting to come as we get a little closer to the season. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. You guys have any final parting words? Not you, Dits. You stay quiet.
Honorable
Excited
mention,
for
Jason
the-
Mason.
Jason Mason. Yeah, put him in those rankings.
Stay tuned for a tennis betting bit.
Oh yeah.
And a table
gonna like that
tennis, 2 a.m. Polish table tennis betting. Well, we do a lot of that.
When you're down bad after a tough week and you need some table tennis, Cheyenne's your guy.
I got you.
Have
Stay
you
on the
guys
lookout
watched
for
any-
Woods
yeah,
Tech.
That's
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
No, have you guys actually watched this like tennis? Do you guys watch that?
No.
That shit is amazing. Like these like top tier matches. So good. Anyways.
Yeah, it was like 6 hours long. Pretty
I
impressive.
watch football.
But it's no
and
table
Alcaraz
tennis.
Sinner?
Football.
That Alcaraz Sinner final was unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
That shit was
Hey,
End
save
the
it for
pod,
the
end the
save
pod.
it for the tennis
Okay,
save it for the
okay.
tennis podcast.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. Thanks for listening.
Deuce.
Thanks,
Later.
guys.